course, the inauguration was going to provide numerous moments of contention and contemplation. There are so many to get through today, but we'll do our best. Let's start simply with Elon Musk's apparent salute. Of course, you, like me, consume certain strands and streams of media, so you'll have already seen by now, I'm sure, various famous people doing Nazi salutes. You might have seen the Taylor Swift one. Have you seen the Kamala Harris one? Have you seen almost everyone doing it? And now, should I get that dubious honour of being worthy of further cancellation, here's me, while sort of saying, while physically demonstrating what a Nazi salute is, potentially being used. Now, although it's a kind of a semi-trivial point, it's worth mentioning, isn't it, that the gesture itself and the shape of the body, if you're suggesting that that has an absolute meaning or even an encoded meaning, you're making a claim that you understand an absolute reality. It's possible, at least possible, that Elon Musk tapped into intuitively whatever that feeling is, to sort of pat your heart and to extend your arm. If any of you have ever tried Kundalini yoga, they talk about the specificity and meaning and power of certain bodily positions. There are various sort of yogic positions that are designed to solicit certain types of energy or power, which of course is another word for energy. And if you think there's no meaning at all in body language, well, do you like it when people point at you like that? Do you know what it means when people put up their thumb like that or put their thumb down like that? Or if you're British, do that. Or if you're American, do that. All of these things have encoded meaning. When it becomes interesting, I suppose, is when you find distinct cultures and languages that happen upon the same word or sound or physical gesture to mean the same thing. Indeed, the work of Carl Jung and subsequently the work of Joseph Campbell is built upon just such a foundation, that there are embedded archetypal meanings that are expressed through story and folklore, symbol and image. Here we would best refer to, maybe in a contemporary case, Jonathan Pajot, a great expert on iconography and symbology. But any artist, musician, painter, writer has to understand symbolism to some degree. So we're in this extraordinary territory of, do actions have meaning? And do they have a consensual meaning? Now, I suppose you're going to discuss that in inauguration, because an inauguration is by its nature a ceremony where human beings through action appeal to an absolute reality. This is an anointing. After this, a man who wasn't president, well, he was because he was president before, but then there was a bit where he wasn't president, will once again be president. Like, you or I can't just suddenly claim to be president. There has to be an election, then there has to be a ceremony, then there has to be an endowing. So let's just acknowledge we were on a symbolic occasion as symbolic beings who deal with symbolism, and there's symbolics right there. Let's have a look at CNN's interpretation of Musk's bodily action before determining for ourselves whether or not we think there's ill intent, deliberate coded meaning, or is it, you know, again, you could probably use January 6th as an example here. When you look at January 6th, do you see an insurrection that warranted punishment, or do you see a legitimate protest that was subsequently repackaged by the media in order to generate hysteria? Some people, there's a binary reaction to those questions. Let's have a look. Not binary, there's probably a multitude of reactions, but there's a significant division and polarization around that subject, we'd all agree. That's a continual possibility.
I just want to look at that salute that he gave again, just if anybody missed it. We'll just show it again. He's just wrapped up here. You can hear the...
Like, now, if you were really trying to not do a Nazi salute, that would not be something that you would do. Like, if it's like... if I was like, I'm not going to do anything that could, under any circumstances, by a media ravenous for controversy, could be interpreted as a Nazi salute. I'm not going to do anything like that today. That's That's pretty mad. But then you have to, like, you know, I suppose you have to take it as far as you can take it of what does he mean? Because on the same platform, as Elon Musk himself has pointed out, you will see him called a Zionist as a result of the tour and trip he took to Israel after apparently taking some positions that were not pro-Israeli earlier on in the October 7th passage or chapter of events. So some people call him a Zionist there, and then others call him a Nazi. Now, is there an intersection between those two categories that are opposing? Is it possible, I ask you, let me know in the comments and chat, to be a Nazi and a Zionist simultaneously? What would that mean?
All right, so we just showed that. We just showed that.
Right. It's worth
Salute.
It was quick.
I'm not the first person to make this point. It may have been Dave Rubin, in fact, that made it to me. But if you look at that shot, it's indistinguishable from wrestling. The sort of diaphanous space between entertainment and politics has been entirely permeated.
It's worth Salute. It was quick. I think our viewers are...
Oh, I mean, like, right, well, wherever it was... we're in the territory of madness now, aren't we? Now, did you see that salute? No, it is sport. It is sport. Because you're not saying, what do you think is going to happen with this policy? And is Doge really just a rebranding of some formerly existing department, as the Lever suggests in their, probably Lever in American pronunciation, in their reporting on that subject? No, they're not talking about that. They're talking about the meaning of a bodily gesture. I would say, if I had to answer it, that Elon Musk is just about autistic enough that under the conditions of adrenaline and excitement that surely accompanied that moment, he might have, like, in his mad and brilliant mind, reached for something and come up with that. That would probably be my guess. I certainly don't think it's this. I'm a Nazi, actually. I'm a Nazi, actually. And I've kept it down till now, but this is my chance to really let rip on. I don't think it's that. I
I think our viewers are smart, and they can take a look at that. But
I've got news for you, kids. Your viewers aren't smart. They're bloody stupid. And you made them stupid.
And they can take a look at that. But it certainly was... It's not something that you typically see at American political rallies. Put it that way.
No, it was not something that you usually would...
Put it that way. You know? Yeah, I'm going to say it without saying it. Yeah, you don't normally see that. More like you might see it at a Nazi rally or a Roman rally. Go and just put up all the pictures of Hillary Clinton doing it and Kamala Harris doing it, and, you know. So, come on. Come on, we've got more important things. I'd be more concerned about what this new AI initiative's going to be. That's what worries me.
And it was quick, as you point out. It was very quick, but it was in a moment of...
I mean, it's so funny. Like, it was quick. You're a quick Nazi. Here's a rapid Nazi. It's quantum fascism, really. It's submolecular fascism, really. It was there, then it was not there. It's like it's Nazi entanglement. The Nazis can be there and not there at the same time.
It was in a moment of intensity for him as he came out dancing, and then he did that.
Now she's talking about it, and he did that like he got his dick out. Like, it's not like indefatigable. He did. It's not like like we're something like, well, that's absolute. He did that. That's not me. Oh no, when I did that wasn't a Hitler moustache, by the way. I was just rubbing my nose. And then I tried to switch off. I mean, we can't get bogged down in it. There's a lot to get done. We could actually participate in the coming of heaven to earth if we would only concentrate.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
He actually said, I mean, that was actually, he verbalized it. I mean, if there'd have been even a trace of Sieg in that'd be game over. Sieg! Heil! No, that was game over now.
My heart goes out to you.
Did he add that? My heart goes out to what? No, my heart goes out to Nuremberg. I think he saved it.
It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
There you go. But AOC, 1775 may have been a dark year for the British, but it was a great year for freedom and a great year for coffee. 1775 coffee is a powerful brew indeed. Did you know that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee in the morning could slash your risk of death, and it's a risk that you're going to have to face, by 29% and cut your chances of heart complications by nearly half? In which case, I'm going to live forever, because I drink about 10. That's science. You can't argue with that. But what's the point of you if your coffee tastes like it was brewed by some hyper-woke barista more concerned with their TikTok following than caring about your coffee? Enter 1775 coffee. In you come. This ain't just coffee. It's a revolutionary act of defiance in every cup. Why not have a revolution before breakfast? Hand-picked at high altitude, sourced from Singapore, single origins farms, this coffee don't pander to corporate overlords or sugar-laden mediocrity. Whether it's beans, grounds, or pods, every sip of 1775 coffee is a stand against the industrial coffee complex that's been filling our mornings and our bodies with junk disguised as caffeine. This is coffee for the free thinkers, the ungovernable, the seekers of truth. God bless you, 1775 America. Head over to 1775coffee.com and use the code BRAND for 15% off. And make mornings great again with coffee that fuels bold flavor, uncompromising quality, and the freedom Rumble stands for every day. If Rumble were a cup of coffee, it would be 1775. Get yourself a cup right now. You'll maybe live forever. Is that too much to claim? Now, AOC, she herself has made the unfortunate error of allowing her hand to be at this height. But also, AOC, think about this. AOC, signifiers, and signified. What do you think? Let me know in the comments and chat. 1, 2, 3. She removed the pronouns, didn't she? She very gently removed the pronouns. So she, like, the pronouns, she for a while had she, her, didn't she? On X? Like, let me know. Look at her bio now on X. Does it still say she, her? So she made that gesture, and then she withdrew that gesture. So is it true, AOC, that you can withdraw gestures? Let me know on X. Let me know in the Rumble chat right now. Like you, Buddy1205 and Roxy Ann, can you make a gesture and then withdraw a gesture? Was the whole pronoun thing just a gesture, especially now that we know that officially it's government policy in the United States of America, at least, that there are 2 genders. Note her tone and see if you feel she means it, right? You might disagree with her. You do, I reckon, most of you. But tell me if you think she believes it. Tell me if you think she believes it herself. That's the important distinction. You know, like if someone actually, like, what do you think some people watched that and went like, oh, Elon Musk is doing a Sieg Heil and is therefore part of the lineage of the actual Nazi. Oh, no. I know, I've seen that too. Who's that dude? Ian Carroll, because Ian Carroll posted stuff about Zionism and X, and like he's now saying, aha, I managed to maneuver Musk away. That's a good little beat on X if you want to follow that thread for a minute. But now let's look at AOC. And what I want you to detect and test for in your spirit is sincerity.
You're going to do a Sieg Heil? You're going to do a Heil Hitler, or their rebrand a Roman salute from behind the presidential seal of the United States of America? It's on. It's on. And what is so important for us to understand is that as long as we don't give up, it's not over. It's not over. It is not over. Libs of TikTok started crying because I said over the weekend that Donald Trump is a rapist.
Her head's in the game. All right, this is what that is. I think AOC is 100% entirely sincere. I do think that. But her reference to Libs of TikTok means that she's gotten, she knows what Libs of TikTok is. She's been successfully trolled by them because she feels the need to respond to Libs of TikTok. So I would say this. She's locked into that game of winning the cultural space. And did you note the comments under AOC? Like, not everyone's not going, well, come on, it's not that bad. Everyone's like, this is it. We're in serious trouble. We are in serious trouble. So the community that AOC, she, and I think it's okay to call her she, are in, believe that this is a sincere debate. So they believe it, but that's because they've become tethered to the nihilistic threads and frequencies of the conditioned space of the culture. We must not allow that to happen to us. In a way, you can't be on either side of anything, because if you're on either side of anything, you are not with him, the almighty creator, present in you now, in this moment. Let's have a look at loads of Democrats Sieg Heiling like there's no tomorrow. Like Elon Musk probably is a person whose experience of reality is somewhat unusual, given that he's evidently and obviously a genius, and now a genius that wields incredible power. I reckon if you add to that genius highly adrenalized, and what's that other one that you experience in stress? Cortisol states, that, gosh, he would be spasming all over. And I do believe that the people that are outraged by it are genuine in their outrage. But for me, that would ultimately be an indication that we have become obsessed with superficiality. and that we need to delve into real spirit and have a look at what the point of our cultural argument and conversation is. Like that if we're actually quarreling about the perceived meaning of a bodily gesture and how that tethers to ideology, then we've sort of lost touch with something powerful and significant, because God is real and God is here in the present moment. And that's what we're all being beckoned towards and called to. The only symbol that matters, in fact, is the symbol of the cross, that you require simultaneously the vertical connection of the divine and the mundial. Your head may be in the clouds with Christ, but you better make sure that your feet are on the ground, and the horizontal connection to community. We can create community beyond the basis of just hating one another and identifying with one tribe through hatred of the other. We can find our common bond through Christ Jesus by recognizing and acknowledging that in his eyes we are all on our knees before him. Either side of you, your most hated enemies, those that have done their best to destroy you, kneel before him with you, and we pray in thanks that we are saved by him, by his sacrifice, and by his blood we are saved. That is the ultimate reality. Any secondary reality based on polarization, resistance, and magnetic repulsion is a secondary expressive reality. Lord, I know this to be true. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and the chat? Because I'm just as interested in what you think as what I think. And together, I bet we can come up with something, particularly as I'm a man who can't even successfully put a pen into its lid. Oh, how my life has changed. There was a time where my aim was amazing. And just at that moment, someone posted a meme of Bill Gates in the locals chat, literally like with like some vial with a syringe. And oh, that's so crazy. Those of you watching that on locals got a real incredible multi-layered experience then. Massive. Pull it in from the locals chat. Your mind will be blown.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.